afternoon, welcome. I know, yes, you're locked and tuned in as usual. What's the talk on the block? Well, it appears that Parliament will be very hot this week. There's the Sexual Offences Act, vote of no confidence, and of course within the Sexual Offences Act, the husbands are talking. Of course, it speaks about rape in a marriage. Yes, I said a very hot Parliament this week. Carlisle John Baptist is on the line with me, and of course I saw a big front page on the Sun newspaper, Joshua Francis, to address the Sexual Offences Act. Carlisle John Baptist, good afternoon. Are you there?
Hey, man. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your male listeners. What's up?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, how was the weekend?
The weekend was fine.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
Oh, good, man. Good. Nothing to complain about, as usual. Usual stuff, and then church on Sunday. And yeah, back at it again for yet another week in court this morning. Following up what happened in court, there's a sexual matter going on now in camera. And then I went to the magistrate's court this morning. There were some interesting matters. There's a drug matter that bail was granted in the sum of $100,000. One gentleman, I think his name is, let me see, his name is Darius Williams of Kingsville, was arrested in St. Joseph with 19,000 grams of
cocaine?
Of cocaine, yes. And he was charged with possession of cocaine and possession with intent to supply. 38 years of age, represented by Wayne Nordy. And he was granted bail in the sum of $100,000. But he's on remand because they do not have a proper shot yet.
Okay.
Also, there was this young man from Newtown, Kingsville to be exact. We all know him, Edison Pemberton, Matt. You know what he's charged with attempted murder of this young lady from Point Michelle. He was trying to get bail this morning, actually. He has been indicted, and his matter is now set for the January session of the criminal court. So he has gone through the paper committal, and his matter is now set for High Court. But having been now set for the High Court, his lawyer was asking for bail for him. But the magistrate, looking at the circumstances, said that he's troubled by the circumstances and told his lawyer that if he wishes, he could go to the High Court, but he was not granting him bail. And
so struggle to get bail for Kurt.
Yes. The magistrate denied him bail, but he has been set. His matter is set for the January session of the criminal court. So he has been indicted and set for the criminal court. So his matter is now set for High Court. So, but he was still trying to get bail. I guess he said he's already on remand for 11.
But did the magistrate explain, Carlisle, just what he was troubled about?
But Matt, I mean, I don't want to go in details, but it's clear the magistrate would have read the file. Remember, there's a file. The magistrate would have read the file and the circumstances as it relates to what would have happened. And all of us would be aware of what would have happened. And of course, there are also footages, television footages, not television, but video footages, of what would have transpired.
It's clear, although he did not say that he was somewhat worried about the circumstances.
Right, and of course, remember, he went, whatever he did, he then went to the police station to just say to the police, look, I have done X, Y, and Z. So you ask yourself, is that someone with almost a sound mind to do such a thing and then go straight to the police station? You ask yourself those questions. But he's been on remand now for 11 months almost, and his matter has been expedited, and he's set for the January session of the criminal court. So he will soon have his day in court.
Well, it's a case that we have to watch very closely. Does he have anybody representing him, Carlisle? No. He was
represented by Win Nordy. He's represented by Win Nordy.
All right. Something that we have to watch very closely. I caught a glimpse, Carlisle. I don't have the paper in my hand just yet, but caught a glimpse of the front page of the Sun newspaper. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, I have a copy of the paper. I have a copy of the paper which says, on the front page, it says the case against the Roseau South parliamentarian is on for judicial review on 20th October 2016. Headline, MP Joshua Francis to debate Sexual Offences Act. On the back page, it says, mapping 2K4 staff, sale flowing slow. So two very interesting stories. So going back to the front page, it says, as the parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Joshua Francis, will be going to Parliament this week to debate the Sexual Offences Amendment Act 2016. Francis said the bill that parliamentarians will debate when the House of Assembly meets on Wednesday, October 19, quote, is a very important piece of legislation for discussion, unquote. He added that it is timely to take stock of our legislative response to dealing with sexual crimes, for we are continually bombarded with, quote, sexual propaganda. Recall that Francis, an attorney at law, is among 3 high-profile individuals who have been embroiled in allegations of sexual misconduct with a minor. Because of these allegations, Francis was removed from his position of deputy political leader of the opposition United Workers' Party, UWP, and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has called on Francis to, quote, resign as a sitting parliamentary representative. A government parliamentarian and Minister Ian Pinard, who was also accused of misconduct with a minor, has resigned. Francis has challenged the validity of his arrest, and the High Court has granted him judicial review on the matter, which will come up for hearing on October 20. Earlier in 2016, there was much speculation that Francis was preparing to resign from Parliament, and that assumption was given additional momentum when Francis failed to appear for the debate on the 2016-2017 budget presented by Prime Minister Skerrit in July, and the succeeding response to the budget by Lennox Linton, the leader of the opposition. But now there is the sense that the parliamentary representative Francis is going nowhere. He apparently will not resign. And, quote, Joshua Francis is going nowhere. Trust me when I say that to you. A source who is familiar with the operations of the parliamentary representative told the Sun from an earlier article on the subject. Francis is on the ground with his people. He has sponsored the Louviers Football League, and over the past few days has been making donations and check presentations to many groups in the constituency, the source said. So, Francis will be among the parliamentarians who will be debating the merits and demerits of the proposed Sexual Offences Amendment Act, which is a direct response to increases in sexual abuse of minors in the Dominican society. Francis is expected to argue that the increase in reported abuse could be due to the apparent disintegration of the traditional families, westernization and secularization, and consumerism have all contributed to what appears to be a growing disturbing trend among people's sexual activities. He is of the view that the apparent increase in reported cases of sexual abuse may be due to the fact that more persons are reporting what is perceived as sexual wrongs because of increased awareness, increased self-confidence, and increased monitoring as a people. One thing is certain, almost every Dominican will tune in during the second meeting of the second session of the 9th Parliament under the Commonwealth of Dominica Constitution to hear Francis's contribution to the debate on the proposed Sexual Offences Amendment Act 2016. That is the front page, Matt, of this.
But hold on, Carlisle. We have heard before that Francis would appear and would have appeared in Parliament, and we've not seen that. Do you think, based on your information, Carlisle John-Baptist, on the ground, on the block, that he will appear this time?
Well, Matt, I cannot speak for Mr. Francis. I have had an opportunity to interact with him on the matter, and I know that matter is very, very close to his heart. And like I said, that matter is very, very close to his heart. There is a lot to be said about that matter, because remember, he is at the center of this controversy. He needs his name to be cleared. And like the story is saying, this October 20th judicial review matter that also he has to deal with. So he has all those things dealing with, and his main focus, Matt, is to clear his name out of that main scandal. And this Sexual Offences Act, this amendment to that act, is very, very close.
But the question you have not answered, Carlisle John-Baptist, is whether Mr. Francis, who we have been told would have appeared in Parliament before, will he appear? We all agree that he has to clear his name, given the big scandal in the past few months. But will he appear in Parliament? That's the big question.
Well, I just told you that this very matter is very, very close to his heart.
Okay.
And knowing the individual as I do, you know, he is one who will definitely put forward his own 2 cents on that matter, since that matter is very, very close to his heart. So let us wait and see what will happen. Let us wait and see.
So you're adopting a wait and see attitude while you're sort of cautiously optimistic, huh?
Well, Matt, you've said it. You've said it. But I am pretty sure that Mr. Francis, given the individual that he is, like I said,
all right,
he needs his name cleared. He is, and Matt, there's so many things surrounding that entire matter, because in that very Sexual Offences Act, it also makes provisions for people who are guilty of giving money under the table, giving things under the table, and trying to do dirty things to other people. So like I said, and I said that on Friday, that matter is very, very close to the Roseau MP's heart, to the Roseau South MP's heart. And I am sure that he will want to give his 2 cents on that matter. So let us wait. Let us wait.
Carlisle, another very controversial piece is, as it relates to that legislation, is the rape between husband and wife. This has been discussed, you know, in every corner of Dominica, and you'd be surprised the people who have been commenting.
Well, Matt, that's exactly my point. So you see, that is why I said on Friday that each and every parliamentarian ought to speak on that matter. Each and every member of parliament ought to speak on that matter. So in other words, Matt, I expect that debate to take us right through. It should be first time in the history of parliament that each and every parliamentarian would have made a contribution to that matter, because it is one which touches the fabric of our society.
Because a lot of us, Carlisle, were very concerned that parliamentarians and ministers said nothing. Well, here's a chance to speak.
Exactly my point. As we speak, Matt, as I'm speaking with you, there is a matter going on in court, and it is being held in camera, meaning that we cannot even report on it. They invoked a certain section of the Sexual Offences Act, so the press cannot report on it, where it's an incest, rape, and indecent assault matter. So as we speak, this another very interesting matter is going on. So there is this opportunity for parliamentarians to now speak openly on that matter, because we've been hearing so many things about people in high places and the things that they have been involved in, some of them trying to pervert the course of justice. We are aware of that. We are aware also of the evidence of the child who is involved in one of those matters, went around, and everybody has copies of it. So we know those things. Who put those documents out? Was that in an attempt to pervert the course of justice? All those things, Matt, we are aware of that. So it's very interesting that piece of legislation is coming at this very time. So I'm expecting each and every parliamentarian to speak, give his and her 2 cents on that matter. Let us hear their views on the fate of our young children, our young boys and girls who are being molested, who are being harassed, who are being abused by not only young people, but people in high places, in high offices, and who are giving money under the table for them not to speak, and then trying to have other people in tie. These are the things I want to hear them speak about.
I'll be tuned in on Wednesday. I'm sure you will be tuned in yourself.
Oh yes, Matt, I will be very much tuned in. I will be waiting patiently for me to hear all of them speak, and let me hear them speak out in no uncertain terms, and make changes and make pronouncements to that salient piece of legislation. And also, Matt, the Bail Act. We must not forget the Bail Act, Because I heard the Prime Minister, quite rightly so, saying that there are people who have committed so many crimes, heinous crimes, and then they are out
there on the streets, yes.
Out there on the streets. Some of them murder, and they are out being bailed. So the Bail Act will speak on that matter. So I expect to hear them also speak on that very Bail Act.
Kalai, have you heard your good friend Tony Astafan on election reform? Listen.
The Constitution requires a president to appoint the chairman on the advice of the Prime Minister after consultation. Mr. Jared Burton, who's a distinguished Dominican, is the chairman of the commission. They're complaining about corrupt lawyers, Alec Lawrence and Kondwani Williams, on the commission. But they're not telling the people about the 2 party hacks, activists, the party rats, the party people who call the radio program morning, noon, and night. Hillary Shillingford and Wayne James are also members of that electoral commission. The 2 of them are more partisan, more activist, more political, more politically dishonest than Alec Lawrence and Kondwani Williams. I've never heard Kondwani Williams or Alec Lawrence on the radio. I've never heard them on the radio. I've never heard them pushing a certain activist line. None of them is the bodyguard to Roosevelt Skerritt. Wayne James is the bodyguard of Lennox Linton. Hillary Clinton has been an activist of the United Workers' Party for over 10 years.
Hillary Shillingford.
But they're not talking about that.
Did you say Clinton?
So they want the two members appointed by the Prime Minister to agree with what they said. And I've already explained what I said about madness in the commission.
Kala, did you hear? I mean, Wayne James and Hillary Shillingford, they have promised to speak, but we've not heard them just yet. I can guarantee you, I will hear these guys this week.
But my concern, the only thing that Tony said that I have no difficulties with is as it relates to Kondwani and Ali, that they have not been on the radio. And I mean, those two gentlemen, I mean, I have the greatest of respect for Kondwani and the other senior counsel. But to call Hillary Shillingford and Wayne James party rats, wow, that I have difficulties with. So that is very insulting and that's abusive. Party rats. I mean, Tony should know what a rat is. To call those gentlemen rats. Anyway, well.
They will respond for themselves. Thank you, 131. This is the talk on the block. We're taking a break and then we'll come back to talk to you on the telephone.
Breadfruit, roast breadfruit, fried breadfruit. I must just swap the breadfruit them round there. Cool kid, them some breadfruit make you covered. But them have a beer if you catch over there. Escobar, I say I eat. You want to get the breadfruit?
Dominica, it's coming. Reserve the date. Come to Marigot from November 3rd to 4th, 2016 for breadfruit and something breakfast fest. It's on. It's 12 hours of festing. Be there. Marigot Dominica, breadfruit and something breakfast fest. It's on. Be there. This ad is sponsored by Country Style Bread and Q95 FM Radio.
You want breadfruit? Just tell me if you want breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Catch it down to them called breadfruit. Watch it down, roast or fry. Catch it down, roast or fry, breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Tell me if you want roast breadfruit.
The highly anticipated return of the world's greatest Creole cultural interaction. The 19th World Creole Music Festival explodes at the Wings of Export Stadium on the Creole Mecca Rosa, October 20th, 29th and 30, 2016. On Friday, October 20th, 8 p.m., the government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority present Zouk Mega Stars Le Gamisha Zouk. Also, Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Timaya. Also, Jamaican dancehall Crown Prince Popcorn. Not forgetting Kings of Kadal's Lips of Music Midnight Groovers. And the Booyah Legends, original Booyah Pioneers. Not forgetting Compa Hitmakers Criolla. And the Booyah MVPs, Triple K International.
When I come in the town, all I want is woman.
Nightly tickets 120 EC. Season tickets 325 EC. 3 nights of pulsating rhythms and nostalgic Creole experience. Dominica's World Creole Music Festival where people meet. C'est Musicano. This advert was brought to you with the kind compliments of Digicel, the extraordinary network.
Perky.
It's 134, a concern out of St. Joseph there. The bullets were flying left and right. It appears that the police were in pursuit of some person or persons sometime after 12, about lunchtime, and a number of persons are concerned as we speak, that this was happening. Don't know why, but it appears that police were in pursuit of some person or persons in the St. Joseph community. Villagers are concerned that the police had to use force around that time of day. I'm trying to talk to somebody from the community who can tell me just what was going on there a little after 12 minutes to 1 there. That's a report out of St. Joseph. Maybe we'll get somebody to talk to us here in a very anonymous way. 1:35, we're coming back after this.
Is set for the biggest Calypso competition ever. Wednesday, November 2nd, 8:30 p.m., Paulusville, Savannah. But the question is, who will dethrone the reigning champ 2015, Anton Joseph? 9 males, 1 female. John Mack, Dexter Peltier, Christopher Sylvester, Joe Dossett, Val Coffey, Charles Latham, Jude Delaney, Murphy John Jules, Kelly Williams, and Delma Daniel. 2 big shows, 1 night. Tickets only $60 in advance. 70 at the gate. VIP only easy $140. 2 big shows, 1 night. Calypso competition and band competition featuring Calypso legend Gordon Henderson. November 2nd, 2016. Paulusville, Savannah. The biggest show for the independent season.
Perky Speedzer needs drivers. Necessary requirements: a pleasant disposition with a natural aptitude to customer service. At least 2 years experience driving manual shift vehicles and gear bikes. Must be at least 25 years. Must possess a valid Class C driver's license for at least 4 years. Good knowledge of Perky's delivery zones, that is, Roseau, Bath Estate, Emsall, Goodwill, Newtown, Castle Comfort, Walhouse, Lubia, Madrell, Canefulch. Deliver applications to Perky Speedzer, 42 Cock Street, Roseau by Monday, 17th October 2016.
I did tell you I'll try to get somebody who could tell me what happened this afternoon. The police in the community of St. Joseph, I was told that there was some shooting in that area, the indiscriminate shooting there. Let's find out what went on. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Mom, tell me what went on there.
I'm calling from St. Joseph from the Caleb Laura Primary School.
What happened?
There was some problem between policemen and a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
And about 11 minutes after 12, while the children are going home for lunch from the Caleb Laura Primary School, we heard gunshots. We heard something like gunshots. We wasn't really certain. When we went to look through the gate, we saw policemen shooting in the area. There's a daycare at the end of the road where they started the shooting. There's the primary school and the preschool at the same how I call it, the same building. The children were traumatized. Some of them didn't even eat. Some of them were crying because the policemen started shooting like birds in the air. They're shooting at about that time. And to me, I am upset about that. And whoever in authority needs to deal with that issue, because I am condemning that action there, right? Just all you going after a guy, right, sir? All you going after a guy. But all you know, there's a preschool, there's a daycare, and there's a primary school in the area. Children in and out, in my God, at this time, that is not the time for you to be shooting, right? And the guy there at the front of them on a transport. From the time also the fella shoot at the transport, from the time also the fella for you to get hold of him. But all you putting on a show like shooting like it's bad ball you shooting at, and people, children life is at risk. Huh? When people there was guarding the transport, the guy wasn't, because the guy gets out of the transport and I do not know anything about the guy. But the transport is in the middle of the village, the road there, right? They was guarding the transport. When they heard people started acting up, they left the transport, then they drive up, they went away, right? I am condemning that. I am condemning that action there, trust me.
So you don't think it should be done there?
At that time, they was by the road waiting for transport to go home, right? And that kind of action that's taking place, trust me, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that.
So you think...
They are responsible. The chief of police, they need to do something about that. Because on Saturday night, we had an accident in the schoolyard. And Caleb Lauren and Dirty stating that the shooting took place at the Caleb Lauren school. Everybody know that. But today now, just Saturday night that happened, today now, Monday, just Monday, policemen in the same area shooting preschoolers there, primary school children, and the kids on the other side there, right? And they just shooting. And for them as if, well, they're shooting behind one man they can get hold of. And how many people life is at risk? Children life is at risk. And they are besides the preschool, the schools, they have villagers around there. People living around there, they have shops, right?
Well, I can quite understand your frustration, ma'am. I
am. It's hurting me because my child, if for example, a gunshot enter in the church, when my child is at the daycare, who knows my child wouldn't get killed by it? Some child coming from the school get there. Who knows? The police transport could pick up the child, because it's after the first transport pass with the children started going off. They could have killed my child there. And besides getting the child shot or something, the children were traumatized. Some of them didn't even eat their lunch because the children, as I tell you, were traumatized, crying, right? Scared of even going out of the office where they were.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for sharing that piece of information with me there. (142), this is Talk on the Block. (143), talk to me.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
But before a policeman joins the force, the next week he is walking Rosa with gun. I was at the airport 1 or 2 years ago and I saw policemen pulling out their guns in the airport and laughing. Like all of them have guns now and they're feeling, I don't understand how in an airport policemen could just be pulling out guns. Young policemen, not senior policemen, young policemen. Each of them have a gun and they...
So why would they, I mean, they must have had a reason for pulling out the guns.
No, they're just laughing among themselves and showing out their gun. And I'm in a car watching them and they don't even know. I mean, this all little policemen have guns now. So very soon, a lot of things would happen.
I know there are some out there who might say, well, the police are simply doing their work, huh? As it relates to the St. Joseph incident that was just reported. But you can't be shooting indiscriminately, especially in a neighborhood like this. Ella, talk to me, huh?
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
To you, sir.
Yeah, Eden Cutson Valley. I would like to share a story with your audience, if you don't mind.
I'm listening to you, sir.
Yes, Matt, you know what they call Malfini, chicken hawk.
Mm-hmm.
When Malfini was learning to teach, the small Malfini went and it stole a lamb. When he brought it back, the mother asked him, well, what did the mother say? You see, and he left a test regarding where the party. The mother tell him, bring it back. Many view, upas up kisaki and try. So the small Malfini brought back the lamb and stole a chick. So when it went back, the mother asked him, what did the hen say? He said, this is the chebe, take it, the mother said, power rape, shaky show. Matt, you understand the moral of the story? So when you see them walking around town with their head on the ground like sheep, like mouton, you cannot trust them because you don't know what's in their heart. But those that call in the radio station, you know exactly what they are thinking. But so you see why they, Wayne is Linton personal bodyguard, so that's why they did some Wayne. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know I'll be talking to Wayne and Hillary Schillenford, who are quite able to defend themselves in the next few hours there. Hello, talk to me. In the next few days, yes?
Good afternoon, Matt.
To you, sir.
Matt, when you fire a rifle in the air, if it's a live round, there's a piece of lead that goes up in the air, but it eventually falls. And when it falls, it has the power to penetrate the skull of anybody it may fall on. So when these policemen are shooting in the air, thinking that they're shooting in the air, these little pieces of lead go up, and then they come down again, and it can be very dangerous. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir. It's 1:40. Very interesting. I was about to say here. 1:46 is the afternoon time. This is Talk on the Block. Somebody's reporting that some young man was caught in his head at his residence earlier this week, and the police has not followed up or done anything about it just yet. Somebody says if Alistair Irish of Baffin State, they would have picked him up already. So tell the police, do their work. If it's me, they would have locked me up already. I'll give you more on that story subsequently. It's like they want me to take the law in my own hands. Let's take a phone call. Hello.
Hey, Matt, what's going on, bro?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Matt, I think we should just tell some of your listeners, just let's hold our opinion on the police for a while. We don't know the story, what's going on. Let's just hold our opinion. Today, tomorrow, they might have a press conference. They'll tell us. Sometimes the lady thinks it's the police that's shooting. Who knows? Maybe the other guys might be is the one that's a shooter. You know what happens when things go crazy like that. So let's.
But he just told you that, as a matter of fact, I got reports that people were videoing what was going on as it relates to the police shooting, and some people's cameras were taken away from them because they sort of filmed or videoed what was going on. So it appears that there was some shooting on the police behalf. The guy was in the vehicle, according to the reports that we were receiving. But you're right. Maybe the police will give their version of their story. Yeah?
Okay, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 1:48. And we'll hear from the police bureau, I imagine. $149, hello.
Matt, you know, just 2 weeks ago, a young policeman pulled out a gun in the middle of Roseau on a civilian, an unarmed civilian. And the civilian was walking on him, and the policeman was going back to him. Stay where you are, don't move. Until the policeman had to push back his gun in his pants, and assembling. A young policeman, he couldn't handle the situation.
So the police officer had no right to, try to protect himself? If he feels for some reason that he's under threat?
Let me tell you, a senior policeman was passing at the time, had to run and tell the policeman, behave yourself, go. He tell the policeman, go in the police station, and he got the fella to go in his car and bring the fella in. The policeman was afraid, he had a gun and he was afraid. He couldn't handle the situation.
Again, he maybe felt at the time that he was under threat. 150, but with limited training, lack of discretion, these things can happen. 150. It's 151. Talk to me.
Matt, nothing the police does in Dominica will surprise me, Matt. Just recently, Matt, we were talking about a situation in La Plaine with the acting prime minister who allegedly arrested 3 gentlemen, brought them down in his basement and allegedly beat them. That's the acting prime minister, Matt. He did that, Matt, allegedly under the supervision of the police. The police was there standing by while the acting prime minister beat the gentleman, Matt.
He was not acting prime minister at the time, was he?
But Matt, I do not think so. But Matt, but he was rewarded. Soon after, Matt, he was rewarded for his beating the people. Matt, Mr. Skerritt made him act as prime minister, Matt. We must never forget, Matt, the police going into Lennox Linton's home to conduct investigation, finding out the culprit being Tony Astafan, Matt, and instead of arresting Tony for public mischief, they continue to facilitate Tony and Roosevelt Skerritt to make crime in Dominica, Matt. Matt, what we have there is not a police force, it's a gang, Matt. They are not appointed properly. The commissioner is not appointed properly. The deputy is not properly appointed. And Matt, they continue to act and do whatever it is that this...
Do you think we need a full-scale inquiry?
Matt, they need to ban that whole force from Carbon go down, Matt. All of them are corrupt, Matt.
It's 1:53 in the afternoon. We're taking a break.
Roast breadfruit, fried breadfruit. I must just swap the breadfruit them round there. Good kid, them some breadfruit make you covered. But them have a free of it catch over here. Escobar, say it. You all get the breadfruit.
Dominica, get ready. It's coming. Reserve the date. Come to Marigat from November 3rd to 4th, 2016 for breadfruit and something breakfast fest. It's on. It's 12 hours of festing. Be there. Marigat Dominica. Breadfruit and something breakfast fest. It's on. Be there. This ad is sponsored by Country Style Bread and Q95 FM Radio.
You want breadfruit? Just tell me if you want breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Catch it down to them called breadfruit. Watch it down, roast or fry. Catch it down, roast or fry, breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Tell me if you want roast breadfruit.
The stage is set for the biggest biggest Kadas Lipso competition ever. Wednesday, November 2nd, 8:30 p.m., Paulusville, Savannah. But the question is, who will dethrone the reigning champ 2015? Anton Joseph, 9 males, 1 female. John Mack, Dexter Peltier, Christopher Sylvester, Joe Dossett, Val Coffey, Charles Latham, Jude Delaney, Murphy John Jules, Kelly Williams, and Delma Daniel. 2 big shows, 1 night. Tickets only $60 in advance. Senti at the gate. VIP only easy $140. 2 big shows, 1 night. Kadas Lipso competition and band competition featuring Kadas legend Gordon Henderson. November 2nd, 2016, Paulusville, Savannah, the biggest show for the independent season.
I wake up in the morning.
From the Milky Way, a timeless treasure has found its way on every breakfast staple in Dominica. A delightful promise is being kept, and now everybody is drinking Promex. Promex full cream instant milk. Morning by morning, give your family a refreshing start to a productive day. Promex milk. It's pleasingly, teasingly, surprisingly delicious. Blends well with your choice teas, cereals, coffee, or all your family-friendly recipes. Promex. Good nutrition all day long. Promex milk. Every mother's favorite milk. Taste the moments that take your breath away. Promex, available from AC Shillingford and retailers island-wide. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
Flow Creole in the Park, the ultimate Creole experience, October 24th to the 27th, 2016, Botanical Gardens.
This is how we flow.
When you are just too tired of the heat, check out Progressive Cooling. Get your air conditioning units anytime.